Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp and I am back from vacation, which means it is time to start taking a look at some of the updated future odds here from Bovada Sportsbook. Taking a look at all 8 divisions in the NFL. I know you've been craving it all summer and we've had some serious line movement in some of these divisional future odds. But starting off with the NFC East, what should be one of the crazier divisions here. There hasn't been a whole lot of line movement, but there is a clear-cut favorite at most every sports book, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. However, the Dallas Cowboys at plus 125 from Bovada have a bit of a problem right now. This news broke today that Dez Bryant has officially broken off contract talks and is prepared to hold out through training camp, the preseason and potentially the regular season if they cannot get a deal done with the Dallas Cowboys. Now Dez, of course, very important to the Cowboys offense. You could say he is the Dallas Cowboys offense now after losing DeMarco Murray and having to rely, looks like, more on the pass now with Tony Romo, but still is the Cowboys still are favored despite this Dez Bryant news. It could be just a little bit of posturing as well. Seems to me that a lot of people look at this as Dez Bryant trying to squeeze out every last dollar, which he is very much rightfully inclined to do. But at plus 125, Cowboys pretty solid right now at Bovada. Most every other sportsbook has them around plus 130, plus 125. And if Bryant signs, however, that could move this line down just a little bit, maybe into plus 110. So if you like the value here with the Dallas Cowboys, it might not be a bad time to take them now while all this Dez Bryant nonsense going on, because once he signs, it could be something that moves the line in the NFC East future odds right now. Coming in right behind them, of course, is the much talked about Philadelphia Eagles. We've been talking about them constantly this offseason, all the things that Chip Kelly's been doing to this team. But at plus 180 coming in, probably pretty appropriately priced here. Most books have them below 2-1, right around the same as the Dallas Cowboys, but just slightly ahead of them, above them here, plus 180. Of course, still dealing with some potential quarterback and definitely some secondary issues. This team gave up a ton of huge pass plays last season. They could be susceptible to that again. That could really lean towards the over being a really good play for this team once again, and it could really be good for opposing teams' team totals against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, because it doesn't look like they're going to be much better than they were last year, especially in the secondary. We're going to have 3 new starters in that secondary. And I think for you guys especially, it looks like that there could be some definite value coming in with the Philadelphia Eagles. However, I'm not ready to give them plus 180 here for the NFC East. Odds still staying put, however, right around that same mark, just under 2-1. The Giants come in at plus 300. Unfortunately for them, the biggest offseason story for them has been the loss of Jason Pierre-Paul's finger, and the fact that he could be a little bit diminished off that right hand, only now with 4 fingers on the right hand thanks to a fireworks injury over the 4th of July. Also, another big question mark for this team, sitting at 3-1 to win the NFC East, is their rushing defense. Team gave up about 5 yards per carry last year. They haven't done a whole lot, and JPP being with 1 less fingers probably not going to help that situation any more than it already is hurt. So looking for the Giants to possibly also give up a ton of rushing yards could be good value once again for opposing running back player props on Sundays as well. So take a look at the Giants for potentially to head value if we're there. But at 3-1, once again, probably not ready to bet them here to win the NFC East. Finally, of course, we have the Washington Redskins all the way down at 12-1. Most every book's sitting around 11 to 12-1 for this team. I've also seen 14-1 to win the NFC East. Of course, a huge underdog. Wouldn't be the first time they've been the underdog, though, and potentially have a chance to win the division. But all relying on RG3 here in this one, and whether or not he can have a huge bounce-back season and a make-or-break season for him at the end of his rookie contract. Really, for the coach as well, I think the coaching staff, it could be a make-or-break year for them as well. But for RG3 especially, going up against teams, I think once again the defense could be a little bit better for them, a little bit underrated potentially for the Washington Redskins, and with the potential for a bad offense, I think the under could have some really good value for these Washington Redskins as we get closer throughout the season. But that'll do it for the NFC East. Make sure you check out some of my other divisional previews here for SBR Forum. But until next time, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.